Hi everyone. Aarshiya is a consciousness coach and an author. Aarshiya is a living enthusiast, an influencer, entrepreneur, and a change maker in many lives through life transformation and empowerment programs. Her tryst with her vocation emerged from a moment of crisis, standing on a crossroad where the life wasn't working for her as per the world's set living standards. That's where she began seeking different and more than unusual. Having interviewed on national television about her work, she has and continued to be an invitation to propeller of change using greater consciousness as a source of living on planet. She's a founder, proprietor of a life makeover enterprise named Cheese Push Catalyzing Change. Uh, yeah, and I'm Mamta. I've worked with Aarshiya for quite a bit. It's been 7 months now, and Aarshiya has been a great mentor, help, and a friend at this point. Uh, yeah, Aarshiya, over to you. We would love to know as to what your journey has been working with consciousness and being a conscious coach for such a long time.
Hi, Mamta. Hi. So good to be here, and thank you for that beautiful introduction. And uh, if I may introduce you, Mamta, is that okay? Mamta is a practicing lawyer and a therapist NLP practitioner herself. When she stumbled upon something called as access consciousness, and she made an inquiry, she spoke to me, and she had a keen interest in joining the very core basic class of access consciousness, which is access bars. So, Mamta, from the very beginning, I loved your enthusiasm. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I know there are things going on in my life. That was her energy. That I'm not really too happy with my job, and I'm not really all that gung ho about my personal and professional life. Can this all change? That was her first question, and uh, that's how curious she was to know. And I said, yes, it can all be changed, provided you are walking the path of change. And yes, viewers, so glad to have you all here, whosoever is right now on the live or is going to be watching this video later on. Thank you, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Mamta, for having this with me. And this is one thing which I say and I kind of stress upon, or rather emphasize upon, is anything is possible, any change is possible, provided you are ready. The person seeking change is ready to walk the path of change. Unfortunately, that is one thing that cannot be outsourced. If you're looking for change in any area of your life, which is kind of, it can be in regards to just feeling good, just being happy in your day to day life, just being able to. So it's practically impossible to be 24/7 happy. Is that correct? So then being able to see what is going on with you, what is going on with your body, what is it that upsets you, what is it that actually make you go into reaction. See, this is what I said. I kind of this just popped up in my head today. Every time you go, have an opponent coming into action. Every time you go into a reaction, you have the opponent. Now that opponent could be anybody, any energy. It could be a person. It could be that situation that is not working in your favor. For example, it could be your relationship, it could be your job, it could be your business, it could be something related to your body. Anytime you go into reaction with either of these things, with any of these things, you will actually see all of those energies intensifying. The energy gets intensified. Mamta, are you there? I'm sorry, I can't see you.
I'm here, yeah.
So gets okay. Thank you. So the energy gets intensified, and Mamta, you must have seen this in your life, right? 7 months ago, when you started this journey,
Yeah.
what was it for you?
So I remember, yeah, as we connected online, and I didn't know who, where, what, and we were trying to figure things out in life, and things were getting a bit overwhelming on a lot of fronts, and I'd heard about Access Bar, and I wanted to give that a shot. And once we spoke, I remember the energy on the phone was impeccable, to the extent that I had this thought that I don't know this person, but something makes me trust this person. And little did I know, I signed up for the class 2 weeks later without interacting too much about what is going to be in store for me, and what will show up, what will not show up, whether something will change, whether something will not change. None of those questions, but with a lot of curiosity, I believe. Then we connected, and that's been that. And then after bars, a lot of other things changed. Foundation happened, be new happened, and today I see the way life has changed has been a lot more.
Can I just correct you? Can I
Yeah.
just correct you for a little bit?
Yeah.
Can I just give my input here?
Yeah.
So Mamta, like she said, she came with the bar. She came to the bars class, Access Bars class. She enjoyed the class thoroughly, and then something transpired in her life in terms of money and finances that brought her to the online 11-day class. I guess you forgot BM to HM, being money to having money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And were you frantic at that time? Were you a little frantic at that time when you jumped into BM to HM?
BM2HM
I
was
think it
also
was
out of
worked up.
curiosity. I was
Hmm.
frantic when I was choosing foundation.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to correct you for. That foundation happened, being you happened. None of those happened. You chose it, my darling.
Huh. So yeah, no, it was not a easy choice, I would say. There was a lot of back and forth in
Yeah,
my
with a lot of
mind,
resistance.
with a lot of
Hmm.
resistance. Yeah, like, yeah, there was resistance around finances. There was resistance around how can words or 3 days change anything. But it was transformatory in its own self. I can't just say it in its own self. It was a great transformation, like to the extent that today we are here on this,
Yeah.
in this space that we are talking about it. And there's definitely some I won't there's some transformation. The word that I was thinking was influence, but influence is not the right word. But there's some transformation that has showed itself up, which has resulted in the change. So, but Asha, I wanted to know from you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm sorry. Congratulations. I'll come back to your question, but it's a big comfortable on the camera to 7 months down the line doing a podcast. How does it feel?
Yeah, yeah. So, Asha, you've been doing this work for quite some time. So, how would you like to share your experience with us in terms of how has it been for you for last 13 to 14 years, I guess?
Yes. So about 12 to 13 years in the on the journey of consciousness. And I am a Access Consciousness certified facilitator, as you know it. Uh, Prior to that, I was doing a lot of other things. I was also an NLP practitioner, hypnosis practitioner. I'm also a past life regression therapist, hypnotherapist, and a lot of other things that I was doing. However, when I started my journey on this uh, about 13 years ago, it began to shift a lot of tracks for me. It changed a lot of tracks in my life. And I never began my journey on the path of consciousness with a goal. Or the first one day I will also become a facilitator. That was just not even remotely anywhere. It was only uh, discovering about myself, it was something that I was going through in my life, like the word crisis that you used while giving the introduction. I had something called a crisis going on in my life, about 15 years ago, or rather 14 years ago. And that's where I uh, stumbled upon consciousness, and there is no looking back since then. For a simple reason, Mamta, that probably you must have also seen in past 7 months, is that consciousness is not a tool to fix your life. And like we said, being happy 24/7 is probably not possible for everyone, except for a child. Till the child remains a child. And then there are adults who are conditioning the child. Raising the child, as we say, raising and upbringing a child is actually conditioning the child. Otherwise, the child is happy and would only cry when the child needs food or sleep. That's it. The basic needs. How we talk about the from by Sigmund Freud's principle, the basic needs of life, the id, ego, superego thing. So coming back to this consciousness, I had come to actually see my life bloom. Never did I know that I would end up actually taking this out in the world, propagating in the world, talking about it, creating awareness in the world, because I saw so much change in my own life. So much so that actually, you were talking about money, right, Mamta? With all of those classes, because yes, even these workshops, they are life transforming. They are, totally transform your reality. Probably, which you can, if you look back, you wouldn't be the same person when you look back. So I had a big money thing at that time going on, so much so that I actually borrowed a loan for the same foundation class that you were talking about, because there is a price to it. The class also delivers so much. But I did not have that kind of money 14 years ago. So I was ready to take a bank loan. That's where my father said, instead of taking a bank loan, why don't you take loan from me and return it to me? Let me know in how much time period will you return it to me. So I just kind of blurted out 3 months to him. That point in time, it just came out of my mouth. And said, okay, cool. You don't even have to pay the interest. I said, that sounds like a deal. I am taking in loan from my father and I don't have to pay the interest. However, in bank, I will have to pay the interest. So that sounded good. And I went for it. And within like 5 weeks time, I was able to return the loan. So what happened? I still wonder what happened, what transpired in 5 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks time, that I could return the loan. He was surprised. I was surprised myself. Because when you step into something so drastic, something so transformative, that you have also not thought that it can just turn your life 180 degrees. You come as a new person, and then you have that confidence. You have that own self back. That confident, motivated self back, who can now win the world. That kind of energy. So these classes are in depth. They take you so much in depth that they kind of peel all the stuff that needs to be healed. And I often say that you need to peel in order to heal. So if you are ready, if you have the courage to peel all of those things which actually you're not liking, you dislike them, you hate them, you don't even want to look eye to eye. When you have that courage, when you muster that courage to be able to look, you can only change something that you're willing to look at. Something that you're shoving under the carpet, something that you're hiding, you cannot change it, by the way. So you can either run away from it, hide it, or transmute it. Choice is yours. Because you showed that courage, Mamta, you actually wanted to go with one class, you ended up doing the 4 classes.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to ask you, how has your journey of 7 months been? With all of those classes, you can name the classes if you want.
Yeah, so essentially four, Access Bar, Bean, BM to HM, Foundation, and Bean U, right? So
By
seven
the way,
months.
I'll just clarify. I'm sorry to interrupt you
Yeah.
there. I'll just clarify. BM to HM is being money to having money. It's a 11-day money program online. Yes, continue.
Yeah, so again, all of this started with curiosity. Access Bar and BM to HM did start with a lot of curiosity, as in the sense what would change, and like not particularly about what would change. It essentially was, what is it about? There's so many people around me talking
Mhm.
about it, and and then I've been hearing about Dr. Dane Heer and Gary Douglas, and
Gary
I've been
Douglas.
curious about as to what these people are saying and why they're saying and what they're saying. So it started out of curiosity. Little did I know that I like a parts of me which I thought were addressed have just been buried. So all of those 7 months was a clarity on what I was reluctant to see about myself. I was put in front of those, you can say, issues or concerns or just a certain thought process or belief systems or whatnot. I was made to face a certain part of myself which I was unwilling to acknowledge or face. So, interestingly, what I've realized after four of these classes, it's the moment I get closer to myself, it gets easier to just be, and not just be, right. It's easier to just to thrive in this environment that we find. We often say it's getting difficult, right? Relationships, for that matter, and what do you say? Building relationships, maintaining relationships, or even starting one, right? All of these have been.
So do you feel more of you after having done this?
Yeah, yeah. So there are few challenges that the society, or the few sets of rules that the society has played by. So, but if it doesn't
Mhm.
resonate with you, if it's not your truth, what's the point of keeping on following it and then discounting yourself or contracting yourself, and then consider, then feeling lost, then feeling disassociated or disconnected. So all of those, like the ability to actually challenge the the traditions or behavioral patterns or limited beliefs that have been following either by means of society or by anything of that matter. And if it doesn't resonate with you, why is it not resonating? What, like, then that's the journey inwards, which I believe is a need of the hour at this point. So 7 months have been, I won't call it tough, but it's definitely an inward looking into the darker side of yours with ease, because something permits, something just allows you to look at those dark sides and say it's okay, it's part of me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm making friends with it.
and
Don't have to
making friends
avoid
with
it, don't have to shun it. Yeah, don't have to shun it because guess what, Mamta? Keeping that part aside, so everybody has a dark side. Now, basically, is that a dark side? It's just labeled as dark side. It is dark because no light has been thrown on it as yet.
huh. Lack of acknowledgement of that side, there's some kind of shame or guilt or
Yeah,
whatnot, right?
correct. And most of it is kind of perpetrated. It is implanted that this is the right thing to do, this is not the wrong thing to do. So, a lot of rights and wrongs bring that dark, which is labeled as dark. It is actually not dark.
Yeah,
And that's how, like I said, a child all by itself is a happy child
yeah.
till the time the child is put onto this entire on this journey of bringing up or raising a child. You cannot actually raise a child. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I can't hear you. Did you just say something? Yeah.
Sorry. No, no, no.
So it's a
I'm there.
very
Yeah.
it's a misinterpretation, and it's a wrong terminology that people adults use, that I am raising a child. if you just allow the child, there are so many things, there are so many learnings that a child can give it to the adult. However, adults feels and thinks that they have to raise a child. They have to turn their child into a good human being. The child is already a good human being, good from
Yeah.
any standard that anybody wants to say it. Okay? So there is no, the child, I want to raise a good human being itself is a, contradictory statement.
Hmm.
Or somewhere you think that your child might turn out to be a bad human being. What could anybody? With the right kind of environment, nurturing, care, and love given, no child ever turns bad. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
how our own programs and our own thinking and our own contradicting statements becomes a loop point for us. And that's
Hmm.
why you cannot actually raise a child, but you can give a facility to child, you can contribute to child. When you start raising the child, guess what happens? You will only give the patterns, the programs that you are raised with, because you only know that,
Hmm.
right? Can you give anything new to the child that you have not exposed yourself to?
Hmm.
And that's where consciousness comes into play. So when you become conscious as an adult, you also invite a conscious child. That entire process becomes a process. The parenthood itself becomes the process of consciousness. So
Yeah.
conscious parents, conscious kids. But if you tell your child, oh, this is a bad thing to do, why are you doing it? Stop it, don't do it. You will actually see child doing all of those things which are said no to, which you have said no to. Because the child is also curious. Aren't all of us curious? Like Mamta said, she came to these classes, especially to the beginning first two classes, out of curiosity. But one thing led to another, and then to another, and the change just came on, showing up in a very different way that she went on choosing the third and the fourth class. Have you thought about it, Mamta?
Yeah.
So let's have the better side of our curiosity. And consciousness is what, yeah, builds the cat of curiosity. So it's a nice thing that you're curious. Feed that curiosity on people, whosoever is watching this, because that is the first step towards simplifying your life, towards making your life a better space, towards making this planet a better space.
Hmm.
So you got to be curious. When you are curious, you will actually challenge all of those conditioned patterns of living which are just handed over to you as a legacy, probably which is not working for you. And so I say, if you want, if you're not really happy with your life, and like Mamta had asked on one of the previous questions, what kind of people I have had people like who are earning well, who are really making good money, and probably have a good family and a relationship as well, yet they are not happy. They are not content. Now, one may think or ask, सब कुछ तो है. I'm going to be taking the liberty of doing this call in English. पैसा है, अच्छा family है, अच्छी परिवार है, सब कुछ है, फिर खुश क्यों नहीं है? क्योंकि सिर्फ इन चीजों से नहीं आती है. Yes, that is where happiness actually is brimming from within. And happiness not being able to brim from inside, there are multiple reasons. Maybe there are some of your own skeletons stumbled out, and you don't know what to do with them. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't have skeletons? I wonder. So, so be yeah, have the courage to be able to see the skeletons. The skeletons are stumbling out so that you look at them and actually change them. Not change one skeleton into another, but change the energy of skeleton. Skeleton is what? Dead energy? How can you enliven that energy which actually belongs to you and you can use it to your advantage in the creation of your life? And the first step towards creating your own life is the ability to choose. So nothing happened. None of those classes happened, Mamta, but you chose them. And so you chose them. You are here where you are today. Are you
Oh yeah,
happy?
I'm excited.
Would you want to see the excited?
Yeah,
Would you ever want to go back to? There's no going back, although. Would you ever want to go back to the Mamta that was
I like this
7 months
space.
back?
I like this current space. Great.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. And you're having
Yeah,
fun, right?
yeah.
So here, guys, this is what it is. Having fun in life. Now, having fun doesn't mean stepping out of the house, going for a getaway, having a long weekend, watching movie, dining out. Those are just few elements which add on to the fun. By having fun, I mean is actually having that bliss and joy brimming from inside. And when you have that in place, the outside fun just comes in your life without looking for it. It just finds you because the life turns inside out and never outside in. So that's what I was mentioning. Somebody who has lots of money, great family, relationship, everything, yet is not happy. And I've had quite a few people like that. Quite a few clients and people who come in workshops. They have, I have everything. सब कुछ तो है मेरे पास, फिर भी मैं खुश नहीं हूँ. That's what they talk. And so once they come in the Access Bar class, they actually find, begin to find where their happiness lies. Isn't that very intriguing?
Yeah.
You so, do you have any more questions, Mamta?
Nothing for now, Ashia. Thank you so much for sharing insightful information with us. I don't have anything else to ask at this point.
Yes. And consciousness, cool. So before we end this live, just that consciousness is not a fixing tool. However, when you are walking on the path of consciousness, nothing seems as a problem, and everything, whether it is ease with money, with relationship, ease with body, and having fun, joy, and bliss in your life is actually a byproduct of all of that when you choose to walk on the path of consciousness. So we have some wonderful consciousness classes coming up in Mumbai and Pune. That is Access Bar, 1 day certification. There's Access Energetic, uh, 1 day certification, and then we have Being You Online, which is a 3-day online course. Before we end, Mamta, I want to ask you one
Yeah.
question. How did Being You 3-day course, 3.5-day course, actually transform your life? If you can tell our viewers a little bit in detail, how did that allow you to actually be you?
Oh, so the risks that I've started to take, and and the what the word that I want to use is self belief, I guess. Yeah, a lot of belief in myself. And the risk that I've started to take is astounding. I'm surprised as to how things are
Okay.
magically working out for me. So
Yeah.
that.
Including the place that you're sitting in
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
including like finding a place in Mumbai wasn't easy, but things have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it has things that I found
How
could
it
not
has
have
been a
done.
cakewalk to find actually.
Yeah, have showed themselves up. Yeah.
No, say it. Sorry, we missed you. Can you say that again?
Yeah, so the things that were which I thought was impossible until now have showed themselves up. Yeah. So it's
All
kind
by
of,
itself?
yeah, all by itself. Yeah, very excited.
All by magic?
Yeah, all by magic. Yeah. Very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. So please, thank you for acknowledging the magic. The more you acknowledge magic, the
Yeah.
more the magic shows up. I've been seeing magic in my life for past 15 to 16 years now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mamta, for being here. Thank you,
Thank you
viewers.
so
Thank you,
much.
everyone. And we have our gift call every Sunday, 9:30 p.m. on my Insta handle, wellness underscore with underscore chief first. So do join us 9:30 tonight, and we will see you on the gift call. Consciousness bites to live life. The calls, half an hour calls every Sunday, 9:30 p.m. Bye bye. Thank you, Mamta. Thank you so much.